Hello everybody. I'm going to try to restore some order from the top down, even though I started in the middle the other day. But now we're in the chicken area, and I'm going to start with the jungle I created. This stinging nettle patch that, it's good for the chickens when they eat it, which, it's not their favorite. But now it's kind of gotten out of hand, and yeah, I'm gonna regret this, and the people after me will hate me for it. But it is what it is. But anyway, I've got my little sickle or scythe. What is that? The tiny one, sickle. So I'm just gonna top it basically to like 2-3 feet where I can see the chickens again. And I have a lot of. It's already gone to flower, so and I have no shortage of it, and it's gonna keep growing back. So I'm gonna compost this first harvest. I still have some dried from prior years, so like I said, I am in no shortage of stinging nettle. So I'm gonna take this down, and that will be a good first project accomplished quickly. I got my long gloves on. Well, I was being optimistic with the first pair of gloves. A thorn or more went through and got me in the ring finger, at the very tip of the finger, and it took a few minutes of unpleasant, pain, but it subsides and eventually goes away, and some people will experience more or less disturbance than others. But I've got the proper gloves now, so I can continue on. Initially, there were just like 3 or 4 plants planted pretty close to the fence, but now the plant is encroaching further and further away from the fence. So I am going to pull as much as I can. I'm going to pull a lot of the root system as best as I can, but I know that it's already creeping. I've already found it like on the other side of the fence over there. I see little seedlings. Well, it's also this lemon balm here. Look at this. Look at this lemon balm just everywhere. But yeah, I wanted this for the chickens, and it's working out for that purpose. But it's also doing its best living here with the good soil conditions and the shade. And I think I got caught in the knee. But anyway, gonna keep going here. Alright, all done here. I took it back all the way to the fence. Plenty there left over to grow again vigorously the next year. And now I gotta go drown this batch. So this is where I actually started a couple of days ago. I finally finished this last area of weeding. And of course there was more weeds that came up since then. So that's pretty clear. As clear as it's gonna get for now. I'll come back to it when the wild mint starts to take over again and the gypsum weed comes back. I have to unbury a plant that's back there. The one, what vine was it? Something. That's next. And then I'm going to do this area and weed this area, which isn't so bad, so that won't take me that long. you believe that? I buried this and all that stuff. Well, glad I found it. Alright, it's a little less daunting from this angle to get to that. Alright, here's the vine that I still have to get a trellis for. It is a what's it called? Honeysuckle, yes. The honeysuckle. I have one of those tomato cages I could probably do for now. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Alright, this will have to do for now, unless I get creative, which I doubt. Oh, I did bend that branch there. That's fine, there's plenty life. Okay, on to the next. Oh yeah, I did start bushwhacking as I was in that space, so now you can see, get more depth and took away some of the extra nonsense that grows there to give light to some of the more valuable things. Alright, not too bad in here. These weeds are real easy to pull up. And then I'll do the perimeter. The grasses are a little bit tougher, so I'll use a tool for those. And then inside the garlic bed is very minimal, really. And I'm employing chop and drop, or just drop, pull and drop. We don't need any of the soil matter leaving the garden space. Nope, that's, yeah, okay. This is clover, but it's in the way. Then we have plenty of this wild strawberry-ness nonsense. Like these grasses are really hard to just pull, so those I just trim. See a lot of white flies or thrips, what are they called? Ow, what got me? Oh, there might have been some stinging nettle thorns stuck in the glove that hadn't punctured me until now. That's great. So this tool is really handy for round type spaces. Well, you can't see much of a difference when there isn't much to work with. But I did some of the periphery. I try not to overdo it because I have bigger machines for bigger projects. Also, we're starting to get the scapes coming in right on schedule for the hardnecks. Let's see, make sure we have, so that's a hard neck, that's a hard neck. Do I actually have any soft necks in here? Or are they all going to be hard necks? And then the elephant garlic. There should be scapes on these too. Yep, there's one. But overall, they are slower than their counterparts. Interesting. Well, I've been on my feet for a little while now. It'll be nice to just take a load off and be on my knees for a little while. This bed has gotten a little wonky in its shape. It wasn't great to begin with, but trying to reestablish the border. It still needs help, but close enough. Well, this bit's not part of the original plan, but here we are. So I'm gonna sift some compost, put some over there, and then feed some of the potato bags over there too. Well, the quality's pretty good, but it is still pretty wet. So I do have a lot of like clumps that I just left alone and didn't want to massage more. But yeah, this is plenty. There's lots of roly-polies. I pulled out a bunch of worms because I wanted to add them to the garden versus just sitting in the compost pile. But most of them ended up back in the to be dried pile anyway. Yeah, I'll let this part dry and then I'll sift it again, and then whatever bits I'll probably put in like the pathways or something for another day. Let's put this on the bed. That looks nice. Okra's gonna love that. Lucky. But now we're gonna put some chips. I've been using what's this? Pine shavings, the flakes, because they're the cheapest, and I like that I don't have to worry about weed seeds later on down the line. Okay. I'm not gonna overdo it because I'm just gonna have to push it back when I plant the okra. And it's just to keep the compost soil from, getting super dried up by sun. So I did that bed another day and this bed, and I did the tomatoes, and then those peppers and brassicas got done also. And I got another bag. Well, all right. I'm gonna finish sifting just a little bit more compost. I'm gonna let this sit overnight and dry up a little bit actually. No, let me do that again. I'm gonna do a little bit more compost. I'm gonna let whatever's in the wagon wheelbarrow dry up a little bit till tomorrow, and then I'll sift some more, and that'll be for the potatoes. But I guess you'll have to tune in tomorrow for that if I film it. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Talk to you all again soon. So I'll harvest more. Bye.